we left Tampa. But this wasn't the only adventure we were having in Florida. That lasted just over 24 hours, and off we go, and we get into our rental car, and we start our drive to the eastern side of the state of Florida. The next stop is Sunrise, that is near Fort Lauderdale, as we had some tickets for a Florida Panthers hockey game against our beloved Southern California Anaheim Ducks. This would be close to a 5-hour road trip, and it was a lot of rain along the way.
Yep. We did need to get some food for lunch along the way, and wherever we were around lunchtime, there weren't hardly any options other than McDonald's.
Oh my God.
Hey, what are you eating?
It's my first filet-o-fish in over 30 years. And it's my first McDonald's in decades. But somehow doesn't feel like real food. But there's no place to stop for the next 2 hours. So here we go.
We are.
Finally did get ourselves to Sunrise, and once we landed there, we did have a wonderful check-in experience at the hotel there. We stayed at the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott. Monday morning, 2 days after our last hockey game in Florida. So yesterday we made the drive from Tampa to the Fort Lauderdale area.
Mm-hmm.
It was about, 4 hours?
About 4 hours.
4 hours. Lots of rain.
Yes.
One really bad filet-o-fish sandwich. But we made it here, and this morning we have an afternoon game.
Yep.
Because it's a 3-day weekend. So we're gonna be off to the arena, where we're gonna go see the Anaheim Ducks play the Florida Panthers. Try to get there a little bit early.
Mm-hmm.
May do a little tailgating in the car, because we apparently have some supplies for tailgating.
Yes.
And gonna see some hockey.
Yes.
Anything else?
Yeah. No, it's been fun. It was a fun thing to do. So.
Yes.
Great idea.
Yeah. Any impressions of Florida?
I love Tampa. Tampa was a nice city.
Yeah, it's really nice.
It was really nice. It was clean. It was very nice. It didn't seem crowded at all.
Real nice downtown. Mm-hmm. Lots of options near the arena for drink and food before the game. We were kind of surprised because we did stop there's a Yard House fairly close to the arena, and I think we planned on getting there and got there about 2 hours before the game, and at 2 hours before the game,
it was 2.5 hours wait time for a table.
Yeah, completely packed.
Yeah.
Totally packed. We were able to get ourselves a beer at the bar.
Yeah.
But I guess recommendation, if you're going to the game at Tampa, you want to go to the Yard House for drinks, get there at least probably 2.5 to 3 hours before game time based on our experience.
Yes, but there are other options. So in Tampa, you've got a downtown where you've got other options, which is really nice.
Yeah, so probably the closer to the stadium, the harder it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we're going to see what it's going to be like in Fort Lauderdale next. Let's go Ducks. This turned out to be a Monday game. It was a 1 p.m. game, so we arrived early in the parking lot. We had beers that we picked up. I think our son picked up. We kind of did the tailgate-ish thing.
Guinness. They were Guinness.
We had our Guinness, blasted the Led Zeppelin in the car. Warm, humid.
So humid.
So we were sitting there in the car, blasting the air conditioner. Had our Guinness.
Hours before the game.
All right, we pulled into, looks like it's Amerant Bank Arena Stadium. We're able to drive right in. There was nobody taking money for parking, and I read online it's $40 parking. So Julie's out asking somebody who looks official here if we get a ticket for the parking, because we don't want to come back to the car and get a ticket. So trying to find out the situation.
She said general parking is usually in that area over there, but this was fine. She said, you're fine.
Do we pay?
No, we're fine, she said.
Okay, this seems totally wrong. We'll see if there's a ticket on our car when we leave.
So before you know it, it's game time. Once the arena opened, the first thing we do is go to the game store, we go to the Florida Panthers store inside, get our commemorative hockey pucks, watch the game, and I thought when we were watching the game, it ended in a tie, and I thought it was our first overtime experience at a hockey game, but I was told later by our goddaughter, who sometimes accompanies us to LA Kings and Anaheim Ducks games, that I had been to an overtime game with her before. So anyways, we had the hockey game, overtime, and
in overtime,
our team won.
Oh my gosh, it was so exciting.
So very exciting. And we had kind of just enough time after the game to rush to our car, drive to the airport, and get ready for that return flight to Los Angeles.
Here at the gas station getting some gas before we return our rental car to the airport. One of the things that I do, just based on past travels, is if there's, you find more and more these days at the gas station, you've got the Apple Pay option, so that's my preference. But sometimes you get to a place like we're at a Shell station, you got to insert your credit card. So what I do is I never use my primary credit card when you got to insert it, because I've had too many times, probably at least a good half dozen times, where my card's been hacked. So I've got a secondary card I use when I have to insert the card. Something you may want to consider. Hopefully you never get hacked. It's happened to me way too many times, so it's the trick that I do, so at least the main card hopefully stays as safe as possible.
That's our latest hockey arena adventure. With this one, I believe we have 8 completed. So I think we have 24 more to go. And we do like a trip a year, other than we got thrown off track during the COVID era. This is like one of these things that if you do this, you could make it into a multi-year, probably a multi-decade experience. If you're doing a multi-city visit between more than one sports arena like we did on this trip, it could make it somewhat difficult to drop in extra things to do, especially if you have games that are back-to-back or with just one day in between, but you've got a lot of distance to cover from one stadium to another.
And we had a time limit. We're doing it on a weekend, basically.
Yeah, 3-day weekend.
Yeah, and just trying to get all of this scrunched into a 3-day weekend because we had to get back and watch grandchildren. We have a lot more places to visit, but we have a good start on our list. Aside from the bragging rights and sense of accomplishment, this pursuit can also bring families closer together. It provides an opportunity for shared experiences and creating lasting memories while enjoying a common interest. Plus, traveling to different cities and exploring new places can be a fun adventure for family members.
So that's our latest adventure. I'm not sure where we're going to go next. I know the hockey schedule usually gets released mid-July, so when we get to mid-July this year, we'll be looking at that and trying to scope out to see what makes sense for our next hockey adventure, either late 2024 or early 2025. We'll most likely be going somewhere, and from this point forward, most of the adventures are going to be on the eastern side of the country, so we have that to look forward to.